Hey everybody, today on Coders, we're going to be talking about a little video app called Pheebo. Join us right after this.
Telecom Careers, the #1 global telecom and wireless job board, telecomcareers.com.
Hey everybody, today we are talking about a video app called Pheebo. And, part of the show is to talk about software, and I want to talk about user experience and a little bit of design and how all of our connected devices sort of work together. Apple's a good example of building an ecosystem that everything sort of is supposed to complement each other. So your iPhone, your Apple TV, your iPad, now we have things like Handoff, we have AirPlay. And one of the apps that I have found uses AirPlay to its best advantage is an app called Pheebo, and it's Pheebo. And here you can actually see these are little thumbnails that it creates. If you let it sit for just a minute, you'll actually see these clips start to play, and it's a beautiful interface. It also changes as you turn it. So, and here in a minute, you'll start to see little clips on that. And this is the kind of thing that developers might not have access to in frameworks. And when we talk about things like Apple's creating new frameworks for software, what are the toys? We had physics a while back, and everyone joked that they would be able to make Flappy Bird interfaces very easily, or Angry Bird interfaces. So the question is, how do you build this stuff? What Pheebo did is pretty phenomenal because it was actually two guys that created all of this. And that's increasingly rare these days. It's a free app. And there are a few other little things that I want to show you in here in terms of user interface that I think was an innovative or at least a very clever way of implementing this sort of technology. You can go in here and you can search, and this is actually one of the biggest features of Pheebo is that it collects Reddit, YouTube, just dozens and dozens of video sources and puts them all at your fingertips. So I'm going to put in a Ghostbusters. Let's see, Ghostbusters trailer. There we go. We've got a new Ghostbusters movie, I think, coming out pretty soon. But so let's look at this Ghostbusters trailer. And if I want to send somebody a part of this clip, I can do that fairly easily. We can share a clip here. I'll turn that down. This is the old trailer. Now look at this interface. Oops. Until my phone crashes, of course. That's good. All right, here we go. Let's try that again. Ghostbusters trailer. All right, and what we're going to do is this is something that the company calls Vmojis, that are ways of sharing just a portion of a clip. And what I love about this is the way that the actual interface is done. And I'm going to bring this in here. So you're actually able to scroll through the video clip, and it shows this nice little fading rainbow pattern so you can see exactly where you are. But with this, you can start the quote, start the clip, and then scroll through some more and end the clip like that, and then go share it very, very easily. And that's the sort of thing that's extra that developers don't have to do. They could have very easily have used the typical timeline. You scroll here, you scroll there with your thumb in a linear fashion. But actually, the scroll wheel is pretty clever because it doesn't slow down or go faster at the beginning. It's consistent throughout. So you can get a very, very precise cut using this. And it's also very intuitive, even for users who aren't used to doing any kind of digital editing at all, to figure that out. So that's Pheebo, and we we may have the developer be able to be on here in just a second. He just messaged me. But what's interesting too about Pheebo is that you can project anything that you find, any video that you find on here, you can actually project it to your Apple TV as it is right now. So anything that supports AirPlay, the current iPads, the iPhones up to a certain point, you can project this to Apple TV and it will change the interface to actually match the larger screen size. So just as you saw it twist and change the interface on the iPhone, it changes for the iPad. And then when you project it to the Apple TV, it actually gets much, much nicer with bigger thumbnails. And it's an interface that's absolutely designed for that. And then this becomes the remote. So what I like about this is the way that the presentation adapts to each interface as opposed to just scaling the interface up or down. Another thing that's very clever is that they are working on a watchOS app. So you'll be able to remotely look and you'll be able to remotely control some of the features from your watch to your screen. And they're working on a dedicated tvOS app. And that's for the new Apple TV that comes out soon that has the Siri control and it has a little touchpad on it. And they're working on a dedicated app for that. So you may think, well, video aggregation apps sound really, really boring. But if you look at Pheebo, it's a great example of an excellent interface, putting together something that allows you to share clips and find clips across multiple sources. It doesn't index Netflix or Hulu, but it's actually the perfect complement to those services because it basically complements all of the video that's available for pay with all of the stuff that's available for free across Reddit, across to give you an example on YouTube. It searches, of course, YouTube. It aggregates, and they do this by human curation. They actually look for all of the Disney properties that create content on YouTube, and they put those all together. So if you just want to look at a Disney channel, it actually has all of the individual Disney channels on YouTube collected for you as a channel on there. Well, that's Pheebo. The other thing I bring up about Pheebo is the fact that, of course, it is a video app. And so when we talk about wireless, we're talking about what sort of bandwidth do you need. Pheebo, because it relies on third parties to send the video, it actually has to do nothing with that. YouTube and these other partners who have any sort of bandwidth constraints, they deal with that on their end. So it's a really clever solution to a problem, which is where do you find video online across multiple sources? And then how do you play that in different ways across different devices? So anyway, that's pretty much it. I want to talk about Pheebo, and everyone should try this out because it's a free app just to get an idea of some of the things that you can do with interfaces. Despite whatever tools you might have in your software developer kit, be thinking about the easiest way to deliver that content out there. So that's been Coders this week. I'm hoping to get the developer on here and we can talk about actually the nitty gritty of what it means to create these interfaces and be able to scale them intelligently across these different devices. But until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Coders is a production of RCR TV News. To reach Victor Agreda Jr. or to suggest a show topic for Coders, you can reach him on Twitter at Superpixels. For all the latest news on wireless code and the whole world of wireless, check out rcrwireless.com.